The corrupt DNC is living up to their name. Once again, there's a memo that was leaked from the DNC that shows that they are considering taking away delegates from states who delay their elections past June 9th. And this is, again, in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic. It keeps spreading, people keep getting infected, people keep dying. We're having to take, all of these precautionary measures, and, some states, rightfully so, have postponed or delayed their primaries, due to the public health crisis that we're currently experiencing. But the just corrupt, completely soulless and heartless DNC establishment hacks are, well, no, you gotta vote. You gotta get those primaries out. You gotta get people to vote. If you don't do it by June 9th, then, well, we're going to strip your state of 50% of its delegates, potentially, because, well, we're the DNC and we don't care about people. We just want to push the corporatist neoliberal Joe Biden down everybody's throat, and we don't care how much death and suffering is going to come from that. It's just really sick and disgusting. And then, we have yesterday, this is just so fitting. The head of the DNC, Tom Perez, went on, I believe it was Chris Hayes' show on MSNBC, saying, well, we trust the states to do the best, and if they wouldn't be able to protect voters and have them vote in a safe way, then it wouldn't happen. It's like, obviously that's not true at all. The head of the DNC should be calling for all of these elections to be delayed until this pandemic, a fucking pandemic, is under control, for Christ's sakes. It's not that difficult. But again, the reason Tom Perez and the liberal establishment and the DNC hacks want to push this election through as quickly as possible is because they realize how fragile of a candidate Joe Biden is. So they want to get this process over as quick as possible, no matter the cost, both in terms of, people having to make these really just ridiculous decisions that people should never be forced to make. Do I go out and vote and exercise this right, this really important thing, or which by doing that, I'm potentially exposing myself to contracting this coronavirus that could kill me if I'm in that vulnerable population, either, if I'm an older folk or if I have these underlying conditions, weakened immune system, that type of thing. So do I go out and vote, which is super important, but I also am putting myself at risk? Or, I could contract it and give to somebody else in one of those vulnerable populations, or do I stay home and protect myself? This is the type of position that the DNC is putting people in. It's just, again, really sick and disgusting that they're putting politics and, trying to just shove Joe Biden down everybody's throat instead of actually looking out for the health and well-being of the people, which, again, people on Joe Biden's team are echoing the same sentiment that that's being puppeted or parroted, I should say, by Tom Perez and the DNC. There was a memo from the Joe Biden campaign that was basically considering what's going on right now to voting during the Civil War or voting during the I think it was like the Spanish flu of 1918 and World War I, and all of these just really ridiculous comparisons. And these are really like unprecedented times right now, and just because maybe people voted during those other times doesn't mean we should be doing it now. One of the things that probably led to, the Spanish flu spreading, if it was during an election time, was people going out and voting. That's a horrible and ridiculous argument to make, Joe Biden and your just ridiculous corporate centrist neoliberal backers and just hacks. And it's just, again, really disgusting that a political candidate, Joe Biden, and his team and his surrogates are going out there and telling people, no, no, go out and vote. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Even though, you know, the CDC says you shouldn't gather in groups bigger than 10. Trump even said that at his press conference. But no, go out and vote. Wait in lines that are, you know, hours long. Polling stations are going to be closed. All this other craziness is going to make it even worse. But no, it's okay. Go out there, expose yourself. It's just the coronavirus. You might die, or you might give it to somebody else and they might die, but no big deal. No big deal. Everything's fine. Nothing to see here. This is the type of fucking just ridiculous logic and reasoning that people like Tom Perez, people like Joe Biden, people on his team are using, and again, it's putting people's lives at risk, and it's going to continue to spread the coronavirus. And this is, you know, the week, basically what a lot of public health experts and, you know, doctors have said, that this is the week that people really need to be making the concerted effort to stay home, to practice social distancing, to self-quarantine, to do all these things to stay away from large groups of people. But the DNC and Joe Biden's team are saying, no, don't listen to that. It's fine. These election places, you know, they're gonna keep them clean, and, you know, Lysol or hand sanitizer. It's gonna be fine. Nothing to worry about here. Don't listen to the CDC. Don't listen to the government. Listen to the corrupt DNC and the just completely corporatist and corrupt Joe Biden team and his staff. So it's, I mean, again, I'm just at a loss for words. And I mean, if I was put in that position, I don't know what I would do. I wouldn't want to risk potentially contracting the coronavirus and, you know, getting sick with that and potentially spreading it to other vulnerable populations. Cancel, postpone, do whatever you got to do. People should not be having to go out and vote in these conditions. Thankfully, Ohio was able to cancel their primary at the last minute. But again, Illinois, Arizona, and Florida still voted today, and there's going to be a lot of people who end up contracting the virus, and some of them are going to end up dying because of the just total disregard for human life and decency that's been exhibited by those three states, the governors there, as well as the DNC and Joe Biden's campaign. Again, it's just another clear reason why I support Bernie Sanders. He wasn't encouraging people to go out and vote during a pandemic. He was basically saying, you know, use your best judgment, do what you think is best. This is a really difficult time and stuff like that. And Joe Biden's team was like, no, it's good. It's good. People went out and voted during the Civil War and the Spanish flu. You'll be fine. Just a pandemic. No MBD. Choice couldn't be more clear. It's Bernie, or it's more neoliberal centrism, and world needs no more of that. That's for sure. Not me, us. Peace. Much love.